Welcome to the very best part of my broadcast week. I'm Major Garrett, host and creator of this amazing program known as The Takeout, where, as you know, dear listeners and viewers, we are two things each and every week. What are those two things? One, relentlessly curious. Second, steadfastly non-ideological and non-partisan. We're in a very special place today, and I am consumed with a sense of humility. Sometimes you, in your life, get a chance to meet someone you've long admired from a distance. I'm getting that opportunity, that blessing today. We're in Flint Hill, Virginia. It's in suburban Virginia, if you will, kind of outside, well outside of the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. We're in the library of a man named Ron Maxwell, who wrote and directed one of my all-time favorite movies, a movie called Gettysburg. He's written and directed other movies, Gods and Generals, Copperhead. But for me and for millions of Americans, Gettysburg is and will always be his seminal work. Gettysburg is, as the title certainly suggests, about what I would argue and contend are the three most important days in American history. The hinge of history for our entire country. All that was at stake in the Civil War, in my opinion, came to a crescendo those 3 days in Pennsylvania. Had the outcome been different, our country would have been different. Had a sense of duty, honor, courage, and valor been distributed differently, our country would have been different. And Ron Maxwell and everyone associated with that motion picture did that heroic work, preserving for our country and for all time a movie rendering of these three crucial days in American history. Ron, I can't tell you what an honor it is for me to be in your presence, to be here and to begin this conversation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
I've seen the movie at least 50 times. I have a ritual that my children know well. Everyone who knows me closely knows well. I watch this movie every 4th of July, right around the 4th of July. It's a good 4.5 hours. It's worth every moment of it. But I revisit that because revisiting it is to understand, for me at least, what America's about, how America was one thing before the Civil War and it was a different thing after that. And it was an argument among Americans about what the country would no longer be and what its future could be. And so much of that is encapsulated in the movie. So I've spoken way too much. Ron, I just want to give you a chance to talk about the movie, what it means to you, and what you hope it will always mean for this country.
Well, I read Michael Shara's book in 1978. It had been published in 74.
Called Killer Angels, won the Pulitzer Prize.
The Killer Angels. It's a work of fiction, even though it was well researched. It's a work of fiction, and it won the Pulitzer Prize for fiction in 75. I read it in 78, and I was immediately gripped. I didn't know how profoundly I was gripped, and I didn't know that it would start a 15-year saga for me. But within months of reading the book, I optioned it. Met Michael Shara, the author. We became wonderful friends, and thereafter started working on the screenplay. And by 80, I had a screenplay, and from that point on, was trying to get the movie financed.
I want to play for you, and pick up your headphones so you can listen to yourself on this. I want to play soundbite number 1, which talks about the book and the effect it had on you. This is from a documentary called The Making of Gettysburg. That's number 1, Sarah.
It grabbed me on in the subconscious place first. The way a fine piece of music can grab you, and you don't know why, but you're captivated by it.
I'm fascinated by the use of your term subconscious, because Shelby Foote, one of the great American chroniclers of the Civil War in narrative form, said the Civil War lives in our subconscious forever. It is on our subconscious nationally, whether we want to acknowledge it or not.
Yeah, it's there, and because it permeates our society in terms of the lives we lead, in terms of our politics, in terms of our art and culture, in terms of our language and our literature. It lives with us. And so at some point in our lives, if we're lucky, we focus on it. We see what is there with clear eyes, and that's when we start to read books about it or see movies about it or become more conscious of it. And it moves from our unconscious awareness to our conscious attention. and we see what a rich story it is. And so, and what I discovered along the way, and I discovered immediately when reading Michael Sharra's novel, are these great characters. And that's what Michael Sharra's achievement was, to enliven those characters, those historical figures, and also give them wonderful dialogue. So my job as a screenwriter then was to take that novel and translate it into the cinematic medium. And it was, and it lives. The curious thing about the Civil War, which I found for myself in making these 3 movies that I've made, is that the Civil War is, at one time, is absolutely uniquely an American experience, for sure. There's these Yankees, then there's these Confederates, and they're in these places and they fight these battles. But in another way of looking at it, which has informed how I've made the movies, is that they're archetypes. That what we're seeing has been played out before in human history, and sadly will be played out again, which is fratricide. And the other side of the coin, the French have a saying called l'envers du médaille, the other side of the medal. The medal has a shiny side and a dark side. The dark side is fratricide, the shiny side is brotherly love. And all 3 films, and certainly in Gettysburg, that is explored. You see men who love one another, who are willing to die for one another. And I think my friends who are veterans of Vietnam, my generation, and veterans since, it's one of the things that they recognize in the film, is because that it's something that they experienced when they were in battle.